Good evening to one and all present here. On behalf of the whole DSC SREC team, I would like to wish you all a happy and prosperous Dashera, Vijayadashmi or Ayudha Puja, however you'd like to call it. I welcome you all to the fifth event of our INFOBER with DSC SREC. INFOBER is nothing but informations throughout October. We have conducted a few events already in the past weeks. They are AIML, Android development, AR/VR, and web development. And if you would like to know about these domains or need a kickstart on these, it's all uploaded in our channel. Do check it out. Continuing the list, we have an event today on somewhat known domain, cloud computing. It is a domain known by a few but yet a not well explored domain. This is a domain that we use day to day and yet don't know and don't have a keen idea on it. Hence, to help us all give an idea on this, we have someone here with us. He's a Google developer expert for Google Cloud Platform Payments, and he has been a solution architect, DevOps, cloud e-commerce payments with close to 14 years of experience, having proficiency in developing and driving cloud strategies across the large organization. He has been responsible for setting up DevOps Center of Excellence and lead the entire DevOps or testing practice in a highly diverse portfolio of projects and technologies. He has also been a thought leader or strategist across the organization for establishing a positive brand as well as fostering continuous delivery in an innovative manner. He adapts at working effectively to achieve goals in multitude ways. A cross-functional team member, individual contributor, mentor, and a developer. Let us all welcome Mr. Dharmesh Vaya, who has taken his time out on this auspicious day to enlighten us on this domain, cloud computing, and much more on this. Welcome, sir.
Hello.
Hi, sir.
Hi. Hi, Ovaya. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the wonderful introduction. Really great to be a part of this initiative that you folks are running. And of course, let me wish your viewers and everyone a very happy Dashera. Hope you all kind of benefit a lot on this day, and I'll try to impart as much kind of and share my experience as much as possible. So
Thank you,
with
sir.
that, I can get started and really talk you through some basic slides. It is more of an experience sharing that I'm going to do, and I won't bore you with too much technical stuff on a Sunday. So with that, let me get started on this INFOBER session with DSC SREC. As Oya mentioned, this is my quick introduction. I am Dharmesh. I kind of head the technology division at Agraya Technologies. We are a voice and cloud tech company and also a GCP partner. And I am a Google developer expert into cloud and payments as well. And of course, like I also run the GDG Cloud Mumbai community, which kind of brings together a lot of cloud professionals together to kind of solve different challenges. So I think this is what kind of is going on these days, like how it started and how is it going. So this actually one slider, or rather this one snapshot kind of sums everything together. Okay, and this is like picked directly from my blog or from my Medium post. Okay, this the right hand side of what you are seeing over here, this BigQuery talk featured at DevFest 2014. This is what I can say how it started, and this picture over here I can say like how is it going now. So as I was like mentioning, okay, currently like I kind of head the technology division at Agraya. I manage the GDG cloud community at Mumbai, a Google developer expert. So all that has been possible over the past few years, and that kind of how it started is basically from like DevFest 2014, around that season. So to give you some background, how I actually jumped into cloud technologies back like almost like 6 7 years back. I was like kind of dwindling between the traditional developer role of between a developer, between an ops guy, between testing, between performance engineering, and I was trying to find my feet out there. And then one thing which I was pretty sure of is that I did not want to be a sort of a people manager. I did not want to get into project management and stuff like that. And that was pretty clear goal which I had even like at almost the beginning of my career also. I don't know why, but yeah, that is how my inclination was. I'm more of a geeky person, and that is why I always wanted to fiddle around with technology and stuff like that, and did not want to fiddle around with people's minds or appraisals and something like that. So that is where it actually started, and this opportunity came into me thanks to one of our mentors. Like I think you'll follow him. He's Roman, and Roman Irani, who is now a partner engineer at Google. And I was like kind of working together with him in a company called as Orient, where I got this introduction around what DevFest are, and then the journey has been going pretty smooth so far. Now, during this stage, I would say, I found or rather discovered that Google Cloud is kind of picking pace, okay, in terms of different products and different initiatives. Where I came to know that like BigQuery is something of a very hot piece, and at that instance of time, I was also working on a project at Zorient, which was kind of doing a lot of big data stuff. So in those days, like almost 6 7 years back, Hadoop was just introduced into the market, and it was like trying to find feet by itself and trying to do some POCs and comparisons as such. Not fully productionized, but yeah, uh, more of POCs were happening. At that instance, I kind of figured out that yes, cloud is the thing which I want to be in the future, and I started my journey around it. So how it actually started, to be specific on a project as such, I was doing this Hadoop initiative and a POC around it, and I had to process almost like 4 terabytes of data. So I set up a whole end-to-end Hadoop infrastructure on my data center, and there was another piece of technology which is called SAP HANA, which is an equally strong big data platform. And
Dharmesh, I think there is a lag in your side. The network is lagging.
5 years back, it was said earlier, like it's how it's going is that now I'm leading a team of almost like 60 70 folks who are like kind of building great cloud products, building voice products, and now we are a Google Cloud partner also, which means that I get to work directly with Google Cloud engineering teams in kind of shaping the products and kind of bringing the best out of it to the world. So yeah, it has been an interesting journey, and this is one piece which I had to share. And like, then the idea is like, where can you all start? How do you all start? And if I compare from 6 years back to now, okay, there are tons of resources available for you folks as beginners to start. And this is what I'll guide you through or walk you through what these resources are. So the only resource that you should be having is your browser. Yes, don't take this as a joke, but your browser is the most powerful resource that you will have in shaping up your next few years or your career by itself. Why? Is because your browser is actually your window to any kind of technologies, to cloud platforms, and so on. So on your browser, just you can go to cloud.google.com, create an account. I'm sure all of you have GCP accounts, or like Google accounts or Gmail accounts. You just have to use the same account and use it on your GCP projects. Now, of course, you do get $300 free credits to kind of use them. And yes, there is a caveat to kind of link your debit card, credit card, or any kind of payment instrument out there. So that is something that I'm sure you all can manage that. And then you just go to the product page, you search for like any kind of product that you want, how to find the best product, which product to use. I'll come on the next few slides and try to explain that which product will be suitable for you, or rather how you can go ahead choosing the right fit product. Now, you all can use Cloud Shell, or you can, if you prefer more of the local environments, you can download the Google SDK and then get started with the G Cloud init command. Now, as I was mentioning, that how do you kind of find the best fit product? So I would say the best thing to do is more hands-on. And how you will do hands-on is access to these learning platforms. So these links, I'll be also sharing the whole deck with your community members and your organizers. You can access it from there, and I'll also post the links on my social channels so that you can always access them. So there are these free labs which you can always try. So if you want to understand what does compute give you, what does Kubernetes give you, or what does Cloud Run give you, don't consider them as Greek terms for now. You all can like kind of try it out by yourself, understand what these are meant for, and then you can start playing around with it. And of course, as I mentioned, on your browser there is something called as YouTube, and there are a lot of content available over there. Go to the official channel of GCP. There is a getting started playlist, there is an essential playlist, and if you just even go through these two playlists, which is like getting started and GCP, trust me, y'all can even crack the associate level certification. So yeah, I mean, these two playlists, I mean, they are exhaustive, but then they are adequate enough to let you crack the associate cloud engineer certification also. Of course, with some hands-on, it would be an added advantage. But then, yes, if you want to understand all the concepts to get started on cloud, I think these two links are like kind of as much sufficient as possible. And of course, there is something called as quick labs, which kind of give you a very strong hands-on learning platform. And it's like having a lot of free resources, GCP projects that you can work on, any kind of solution that you can think of. You can try it on quick labs and then start deploying it. Moreover, it is more of like tutorial based, and it has ample code examples. Each and every step is kind of explained, that what is the intention of that step, whether it is on a cloud shell, whether it is on a cloud console. So you get a very detailed level of understanding over there. And a lot of quick labs, when they have been conducted with study jams, you will find ample resources again on YouTube by experts like me or my fellow members who have explained the quick labs with a video format, and then you can again browse through them. And external links, or rather any e-learning platforms, I would say Coursera is the best. And GCP has a tie-up with Coursera for like different kind of video tutorials, quizzes, hands-on exercises, all linked through quick labs and GCP instructors by itself. So you no longer kind of have to pay for expensive trainers or courses as such. Coursera has almost every course available, which has been designed by GCP instructors, and they are actual GCP certified instructors. So you can imagine the best quality of courses that you can get from here. And of course, you would get, like, for a particular small fee, I think you get some certificates which you can kind of share it on your social media handles, which will kind of gain more visibility as such. And what if now you want to kind of enter the market, or like kind of enter real world applications, enough of training? How do you kind of gain some real world exposure? Of course, like, without having that kind of experience, how do you kind of showcase that? How would you understand without having worked on a particular project? So then there is something called as a site which is called gcp.solutions. Okay, it is a ready reference of all architectures that are possible for different industries and different case studies. For example, if you want a hybrid cloud, if you want to do Windows security, if you want to do SAP implementation, any kind of healthcare or media implementation, serverless, DevOps, Internet of Things, e-commerce, even banking and finance. Just imagine the wide breadth of this particular site, and imagine that this is one piece of reference that you can think of for any industry use cases. So if you want to, say for example, find out how does data warehousing work in the industry, just go ahead and find something like this on this particular site. Or if you want to understand basic application development, there is also that available. Even IoT related things are available on this, and that is how you can kind of expand your learning base over there. So then what next? I would say, again, go to your browser, try it out for yourself, which is like cloud.google.com. And the next step for you all would be definitely to go for some sort of a certification. The most basic form of certification that I would recommend is the Associate Cloud Engineer. Or if you are very much familiar with it, go for the next one, which is the Professional Cloud Engineer certification. And that can also kind of help you land up a very suitable job into the industry. And you can then, like, progress very much at a faster pace in your career. That is all that I wanted to share. Y'all can always reach out to me on my LinkedIn handle, which is Dharmeshwaya, or on my Twitter, which is DRVAYA. And if you want to know more about what I do at Agraya, you can reach out or read through on agraya.com/cloud. Thank you. I would be then happy to answer some questions and then take things ahead. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, sir, for that intro.
sure.
So, even our team college, they have started this 30 days of Google Cloud programs.
Yeah.
So we have two tracks in it, and the students have been completing it. So I feel it will be a great start on that. Um,
Yes, the 30 days on GCP is actually a fantastic start, especially for colleges which are associated with DSC. And I'm sure a lot of students coming out from 30 days of GCP, they have, I would say, almost an industry ready knowledge. Okay, and they are almost like eligible to grab some internships, or I would say even direct jobs if they are in the final year as such. So yes, that has been a very much helpful program, what we have also learned. And if I would say, like, if at all in this 30 days of GCP that you all are trying, If you all
Yes, sir.
face any kind of difficulty, please do not hesitate to kind of reach out to us or the Google DevRel team. I'm sure like there would be more than umpteen number of hands to kind of assist you all in that.
Yes, sir. So, sir, my question is, while facing such difficulties, like we get
Mhm.
a little demotivated because
Mhm.
it's little confusing also.
Yeah.
So, when you face such problems, what do you do, and what do you think we should remember while we are facing such difficulties?
Okay. Nice question. So, see, basically, that uh, will happen for any kind of learning that you do. Okay. But the only thing that you should consider is that demotivation or getting demotivated is not the thing. Okay. Just understand that if a training or a program has been developed for you, okay, whether it is a 30 days on GCP or any technology stack, just understand that it has been prominently used across the industry, which means that the problem that you are facing has already been solved somewhere, right? And if it has already been solved, you already have some sort of a solution to that. So just the fact that if you continue and consistently keep trying, find out resources, reach out on Stack Overflow, reach out on LinkedIn, any forums that you can think of, just try to find the solution for that, and I'm sure there are ready solutions that are available. It's just a matter of getting more exposure, getting more hands on, and being consistent than in what you do. And of course,
Yes,
getting demotivated is not a kind of a solution as such. Even like, even in current situation when I face such a problem, I know that there can be situations where we are doing certain things for the first time, and since we are more at the bleeding edge of cloud or technology as such, even before it reaches audiences like students or freshers or beginners, we kind of do some hands on around it, and then it maybe goes to the students or beginners. That is where we
yes,
kind of get more hands on done. The more hands on we do, we get more exposure, and it is just trying to say that we are doing a testing of that product. Okay. And as we test that product, it will become more and more refined. Okay, and it will
yes,
become
sir.
improvised over a period of time. So my one
Yes, sir.
piece of advice would be consistent and be more hands on with what you do, and I'm sure like you will find a solution around it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So, we have a question from the audience asking, can we get started on cloud on AWS?
Okay, so well, definitely you can. There is no kind of a barrier in terms of learning any piece of cloud technology. I would say just like GCP is there, there is AWS technologies. Both are just by different providers or different cloud providers. You can certainly get started with one of them and master one of them, and then you can then work on either of them. So, like even if I have to say, give my example. Okay, I started with GCP, but then now I can work with any of the cloud technologies, since the fundamental behind cloud technologies remains the same. It's more of a branding and a packaging that is different at these different providers.
Sir. So,
Yeah.
sir, I think Simu has some questions to ask.
Yeah. Sure, Simon.
Uh, Hi, Damish. Thank you so much for
Hey.
coming in.
Hi.
So it
Thanks,
was a
Simon.
good session we had. We had a
Yeah.
brief intro and a roadmap how we
Yeah.
have to take our career. So
Yeah.
there's one thing that there are a few things. The first thing that I want to ask you is we have a lot of domain that cloud actually is covered, and people say like it's being a cloud ready world. The world, entire industry is moving towards cloud. What are
Yeah.
the few disadvantages, or maybe what are the few drawbacks that the cloud is still having? Can you name
Mm-hmm.
few, and how as to if suppose anyone wants to solve that problem, anyone who's watching this wants to solve that problem, how do you think he that person should start looking at the problem?
Okay, so well, there are certain barriers to it. There are certain disadvantages that you can think of, but I would say most of those disadvantages are more related to the industry or certain regulations that you can think of. For example, right now the cloud penetration has not been that great when it comes to certain government services. Okay, so and that is probably due to a lot of compliance and regulatory requirements, and then still a lot of work needs to be done over there. For example, like if a country like India, if they have certain data protection laws, then we need to understand that whether a data system can sit within India or can it flow outside India. These all barriers are fundamental and regulatory or compliance related, and I'm sure like there is work being done upon from the providers as well as from the government side of things, in terms of yeah, I think it froze up for a while. Yeah, another barrier or a difficulty that is being faced is the availability of different networks as such. So for example, still you can say cloud is cheaper, but then there are certain regions as such which do not have that level of cost factor associated with it, or the network availability is not very strong as such. In that those cases we use a particular
I think we lost your connection, Dharmesh. It froze for a while. Uh, Dharmesh, I think we lost your connection, if I'm not wrong.
hello.
Yeah, yes, Dharmesh.
Hey,
Yeah,
hi. I think my internet connection broke up, but I think I'm connected back. So
yeah.
yeah, I was mentioning about the barrier towards any kind of networking or availability of different infrastructure for cloud, which is also still like kind of you will say that across the globe there are say like 20 25 data centers or networks that are available, which is also like being expanded. So if I say like the African continent, it still does not have a very good cloud presence, and I spent a significant amount of my career in the African continent where cloud barrier is still there. Also, another barrier that I can think of is folks in the legacy industries, especially around banking, or say there are umpteen number of enterprises which have still not adopted cloud. Okay, and that is something which people can think up into. Okay, that how do you make your applications cloud ready? Probably modifying the architecture or move away from certain legacy infrastructure, for example mainframes, or stuff like that. Still a lot of work is required over there in terms of cloud being available for such kind of technologies. So yeah, these few things, especially in terms of government regulations, compliance, legacy systems, and availability of infrastructure is something of barriers into cloud adoption, and I'm sure a lot of work is happening over there as well.
Yeah, thank you for that answer. And I think Harshita has a question for you. I'll just
Yeah,
add Harshita in.
yeah,
Harshita, you're in. You can ask.
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Arshita.
I
Yeah.
have yes, sir. I have a small question, like out of my personal interest.
Yeah.
In this pandemic situation, like
Hmm.
everyone is working from home, everything is
Yes.
because of cloud. So, what
Yeah.
will be the situation if the cloud is not there, like before, like traditional method earlier? So, what will be the
Okay.
situation even for you, sir? So, how would the situation
Okay.
would be? Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Then I think we'll have to spend more time with our near and dear ones. Okay, and then not worry about anything as such. Okay, is I think no technology is just imagine that you don't have power, you don't have internet, and then of course, then how are you going to survive? You will have to work with your basics as such, right? No power, no internet, and cloud is also a similar utility nowadays. Like without cloud or internet, I think you're never like going to kind of work on any particular stuff. I'm not sure if in like if this situation would have happened say 10-15 years back. I'm not sure how communication would have also happened. People might have send across like pen drives or CD drives and stuff like that. They would have shipped it from one location to other. I don't know what would have happened. It's difficult to imagine and scary as well. I think we are in a much privileged time as such, where we have such a great I would say network, infrastructure, and facilities to kind of work remotely or study remotely. So I would personally say that we are in a privileged time, that we are probably least affected by the pandemic as such. And I'm really hoping that this does not continue for very long. I personally do miss interacting with my colleagues or working face to face with them. And probably if the pandemic would not have been there, I think I would have hopped down to your college, and maybe we would have had a much greater conversation in person. So yeah, there are pros and cons, but yes, I would just hope that this ends pretty soon as such, really.
Yeah, that is one thing that everyone are hoping for.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
adding on to Harshita's question,
Yeah.
so we have improved, we've come here all the way from the cloud basics till here all these years. So
Yeah.
what do you think if a student opts this as a career, how
Mm-hmm.
it will be useful in say 10 to 15 years from now? How the
Yeah.
cloud will be improving in that time span?
Okay. So, great question, Ovea. So, see, basically, 10 years ago, you did not know whether there would have been a role like cloud architect or a cloud DevOps engineer or a machine learning engineer. Okay. Likewise, I don't think 10 years down the line we'll be able to predict something of a particular role. But I am pretty much sure that cloud is going to be as fundamental of a skill as you can think of, like how we kind of operate like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or something of that sort. So it is going to be a very fundamental skill specifically for developers, and there is no right or wrong age to start that. Probably I started it almost say near like almost 6-7 years of my experience into my career, and I'm still learning each and every day. So I would say the roles in future, they would definitely be revolving around infrastructure of cloud. Okay, which is like around DevOps. Still, a lot of improvisations are happening. A lot of automation is happening on that side. And the second big piece that I can obviously say without a doubt is around AI and ML side of things, which does not mean that you need to be some sort of a mathematician or a magician to kind of understand those algorithms and all. But yes, I'm sure there would be tools and solutions in place which would kind of allow you to use AI ML stuff on cloud with bare minimum configuration. Even right now, if you see like TensorFlow as such as a library, it allows you to use those algorithms in a much simpler way as compared to what was like earlier. Like I do not have to worry about the internals of the algorithm when I am using TF libraries. So same way, probably down the line, this can get more abstracted, and people will be able to apply them to business problems in a much simpler way. So definitely infrastructure and AIML side of things, you can expect some roles over there. And pretty much difficult to predict how those roles are going to shape up. But yes, they would still be on the same lines, and cloud would be like a fundamental skill as for developers.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
So yeah, I have one more question.
yeah,
So probably the introduction of cloud, maybe it happened a long way ago, but still, this current situation, everyone are wanting to be cloud ready. Everyone want to put their entire infrastructure in cloud. The main reason is they don't want to they don't want to maintain their and the physical hardware they don't want to maintain, and the
yeah,
security is being provided by the tech giants. But
correct.
still, there are many startup companies that have not been transferred to cloud. They are not yet relied on cloud. So, what is something that is still blocking them not to get into cloud? Is it lack of awareness, or is it lack of they think that is a risk to put their data, or what is actually stopping them from getting into cloud? The full-fledged version that we are expecting.
Okay. So the two fundamental reasons, you almost like pointed them in the right, like you almost answered them with your question, is one is of course lack of awareness. Still, like folks who maybe like operating startups or something of that sort, they might not be that tech ready in terms of the background that they might be coming from. So yes, awareness around that is still required. And second is a bit of worry as such from the regulatory perspective or from a data security perspective. Startups as such, there is anyway some apprehension around them in terms of their usage, their data protection and privacy related laws. So they are still a bit kind of apprehensive about adopting certain cloud technologies as such. So if they kind of crack through that pretty well, and they understand that the security as such provided by them, the cloud providers, is kind of as strong as they can think of, then I'm sure like they can worry only about their business problem, and it would do wonders in kind of gaining traction for their startup. So they might have it will take time, but then once they start adopting and they show that trust on those cloud providers, I'm sure their business would catapult to a next level.
Yeah, I want to add just one point to that. There are certain programs that are sponsored by Google, the 30 Days of Google or Cloud Readiness
Yeah.
program, and AWS
Hmm.
is also doing, Microsoft is
Yeah.
also doing.
Yeah.
So the main target audience would be the younger generation who are going to be industry ready, who's coming into industry. So which gives them the awareness of yeah, this is cloud. You can improve your business in these ways. So I think
Yeah.
these programs are actually done in a very planned way, and
Yes.
planning targeting the younger generation, which makes them so once they get into the industry, they can propose an idea. Yeah, if we move our project to the cloud, there are many things that we can do as cloud engineers. So I think that is one great initiative by all the tech giants that they are
Correct.
working on. And we
Right.
have another question from audience, like
Yeah.
Bharadharan. He has been asking, sir, what is the scope of infrastructure as code?
Sure, great question, Barney Dharan. I think everything, when you talk, when I talked about when Oya was asking, like, what are the roles in future? Okay, I talked a bit around the infrastructure side of things and one towards the AIML side of things. So one part of it is definitely roles around infrastructure, and infrastructure as a code in itself is going to evolve, I would say, as a role in itself. So when I say like cloud infrastructure engineer or cloud engineer, okay, I would expect that as a cloud developer, as a cloud engineer, you need to automate your infrastructure as much as possible, which means that if I kind of deploy an application, or I deploy different types of VMs or a cluster of VMs, I should be able to replicate that in no time. And that is where infrastructure as a code comes in pretty handy. So just imagine, like in earlier days, like testing was pretty much manual. Then comes automated testing, so your testing efforts were drastically reduced, and you got a lot of efficiency in your testing life cycles. Likewise, infrastructure as a code is nothing but automated infrastructure, and it is going to be as helpful as possible in terms of shaping up how cloud kind of comes up next. Okay, because see, the things that you kind of make automated, you then stop worrying about its efficiency, its maintainability, and so on. Everything gets taken care of in those automated solutions or automated scripts, and then you start designing it for success. And that is why infrastructure as a code, there are lots of tools like Terraform, and there are umpteen number of tools to kind of mention. And that is why like IAC is something which is very much prominent. I would say anyone who has gained even a bit of proficiency around cloud and they are inclined towards infrastructure should focus more towards the IAC side of things. Yeah, there's one more question I see. Manish Gowda is asking that we have cloud these days. Is there any possibility where our data could be deleted? Uh, Manish, as such, yes, there is almost a possibility that your data could be deleted, but then there is also an equal possibility that your data can be recovered as well. So it really depends on what kind of service you are using, Manish, and then I'm sure like you would understand that, say for example, you're using Google Photos or Google Email, anything of these services, you have some ample amount of backup over there. So if like something happens from uh, the service provider side of things, they would be responsible to kind of maintain backup or restore your data. And of course it really depends on the category of service, whether it is a paid service, free service, so on and so forth. Certain services, they do not come with a warranty. Certain of them do come with a warranty or a guarantee that your data is safe and secured or it won't be deleted. It really depends on the category and type of service you are using, but yes, there is an equal amount of chance. If your data is deleted, it can also be recovered as well.
Uh, yeah, I think that answers Manish's question. We
Yeah,
have one interesting question from the
yeah,
audience.
sure.
It's Aishwarya Shri, and she wants to compete with Google and AWS, I suppose, how to
Okay.
become a cloud service provider. And she also asks, like, why is that we always depend on Amazon, Azure, Google, GCP? I think we
Okay.
have an entrepreneur from our audience also.
Fantastic, Aishwarya Shri. I think if you're looking for your next, stint in becoming a cloud service provider, it cannot be a better time, provided you have all kinds of infrastructure and the financial aid to it. It would be difficult to compete, but then I'm sure if you are at the fourth position, it's nothing bad as such. So yeah, these are giants or mammoths which have kind of learned over a period of time. And Google, Amazon, Azure, anything of these tech giants that you can think of, they have been using these cloud services internally into their organizations for like ages. I think for the last like say 15, 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
And as they matured, they thought of, okay, we already have a lot of infrastructure lying in place, why not kind of rent them? And that is where the cloud business model came into picture. So if just I have to like kind of share how did Amazon come into the space, is that they were just selling books on Amazon.com. They wanted to kind of have an infrastructure which is kind of always available, and they kind of put so much infrastructure in place. They thought that okay, it will kind of make our systems pretty much stable. They were stable, but then it was only utilized when there was a flash sale or a flash surge of books and any particular e-commerce transactions. Rest of the time their infrastructure was utilized not even like 10-15% of the time, which means that 85-80% of their time their infrastructure was idle. They thought of renting it out, and that is where like we are today with the cloud model. Likewise, like Google, Azure, they have like different stories of how their infrastructure was, and then how did they kind of shape up. So yes, Aishwarya Shri, if you still are thinking of venturing into this space, please do give it a thought. Jokes apart, it's going to be a difficult world out there. But yeah, it is as good as competing with, say, for example, a telecom provider or a utility provider.
Yeah.
It is going to be a difficult space for sure.
Yeah, one last question. Like, there is this craze among the student communities, like certification. Like,
Yeah.
there are few people who value certification, but the from the industry perspective of view, like they don't value certification, but they value the content and uh, the value that individual person gives to that company. So is it like advisable that a student is should concentrate on certificate and just depend on the certification rather than their practical knowledge?
Okay. Well, Simu, actually, it actually is both side of the coin. Okay. To gain experience, you would need some hands-on exposure, and you should be equally kind of competent. Okay, to kind of understand those related technologies. Just having the certification might not help going in the long run. Okay, because a certification kind of can help you get a job, or maybe even just get an interview call. Okay, but after that, it is your skills that would matter, it is your hands on exposure that would matter. So just having a certification is as good as just having a visa stamp on your passport, but the ticket or the travel to the next destination would be only if you have the right exposure or right hands on experience in terms of your job. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could wrap up the Q&A session. Yeah,
Sure.
thank you so much, Damish, for coming in and sharing your insights on cloud and
Yeah.
helping out our students with few questions. Thank you
Sure.
so much from our end, and I think Ovia would take on from here.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Simu and Oya, for inviting me, and also DSC SREC for inviting me. It was a pleasure speaking as such, and always like feel free to reach out on my LinkedIn or Twitter. Always accessible and at your help.
Sure, sure. Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
sir.
Thank
Damish.
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye, sir. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
So that was Mr. Dharmesh Vaya, you all. He gave us a very good insight on Google Cloud and cloud in general and how you can get started with it. So his links will be posted, as he said, in his social media or even in our media. So if you want any help with it, please be free to ask us. So not only the experts or professionals are here to give us an insight on this. We have a student community. We have Harshita P, technical lead of cloud computing, and Kiran Kumar M, cloud computing team member of DSC SREC. Please take over, technical team.
Um, Good evening, guys. I'm Harshita, the technical lead of DSC Club and cloud computing domain. Um, and my co-presenter will be.
Hi, I'm Kiran, member of DSC Club under Cloud Computing domain. And today we are here in this INFOBER session awaiting to learn something new. So we are coming up with cloud computing.
So yes, um, let me share my first experience with cloud. During my first year, I was hearing all these terms frequently. You see, AI, ML, cloud, IoT, blockchain, and stuff. I would wonder like where these terms has come from because I haven't heard about it. I was really interested to learn everything. Everything was something different from the other. But later on, I realized is cloud computing is the base for all these technologies. So it is really essential for one to learn at least something about cloud computing before they go to other technologies to learn, because every other technology is dependent on cloud computing. Like you may ask, like how na it is dependent, maybe it may be direct or indirect, but it is dependent. So that's why we are here to learn something about cloud computing, and let me help you with it. Rather than going with definitions and getting you guys bored, I would like to start with an example. Kiran, it's been nearly 6 to 7 months, right? What were you doing all this time, like most of the time?
Most of the time, I used to watch movies and series. My major time pass was Netflix. Yeah.
I'm damn sure like most of the people here were doing the same thing. It includes even me, no doubt. But the question is, how do you guys have any idea how Netflix works? Here goes one more question. Kiran, what are the things that you have noticed in Netflix? Just tell me now.
I pay 199 per month, and they used to provide me with unlimited movies and series which is present in them, and they are also able to suggest me with movies and series to what I watch.
Mm, yes. You said you pay every month. Do you know why you have to pay for Netflix? Because there are movies that are available for free, right? Why do you have to pay for Netflix?
Because there are only some movies in Netflix that I have to pay to watch.
So we just think that it's because we watch many movies, so we are paying for Netflix. Maybe there is a hidden reason behind it. Also, you said you're watching, you have unlimited movies to watch. My system would or like only or 10 movies or something like that. Its capability is limited, but Netflix has thousands of movies and series and stuff. Like, do you think Netflix has infinite storage?
Yeah, I guess most probably.
Yes. And also, if you have noticed, guys, it will suggest you with movies, like recommendations. You can also watch this movie. Like, don't you think sort of data analysis is being performed there?
Yeah, I guess. So,
So, for all the points I raised above, there is it is all leading us to somewhere, to some point. You see, the that somewhere is cloud. So Netflix is totally dependent on cloud. It is able to store so many movies and data only because of the support of cloud. Uh, and also one more point to add is Netflix is comes under software as a service. If you ask me what is it, cloud provides us with many services. One of those is software as a service. You need not really install an application or buy a license for a software, and you need not do this, but you can have an access to that particular application or software just by paying for it for the time period you use. Maybe like you may ask me like I'm installing Netflix, how can you say it is cloud? Yeah, you can also install Netflix in your mobile, but you can also have it in your website like netflix.com, and you can just sign in and you can watch any movies. And also if you go inside, there are movies, right? You're really not downloading all the movies, you're just watching it like online stream. If your mobile doesn't have any of those movies, it is the application having all those movies stored somewhere else, so you're able to watch it. So that is what cloud is. So this is a small explanation. And I said Netflix stores everything in cloud. When I tell cloud, like everyone would have thought like the cloud in the sky. Yeah, trust me, even I thought the same. uh, like when I heard it for the first time. But this isn't where our stuff stored. It is more like the picture below. If you see, it is like a series of data servers being managed and owned by a host company. Like host company means the company which provides you the service. So they are the host company. They will be managing this physical environment. What is cloud? Cloud is like a warehouse. Warehouse is like where you dump all your data, whatever the data is, you just dump all those data, but in an organized way, in a specific way. So it will be stored, and also plus it cloud has one more advantage, like it can provide us with on demand services, like ready made resources for us to use. So this is about cloud. I hope you understood.
Yeah. Harshita, இந்த
Hmm?
பிக்சர் பார்த்துட்டு உனக்கு என்ன தோணுது?
um எனக்கு ஐ திங்க் அங்க ஒரு பர்சன் இருக்காங்க. ஸோ தட் பர்சன் இஸ் அ ஒர்க்கிங் மேன். அவங்க ஃபார்மல்ஸ் போட்டது பார்த்து ஐ திங்க் ஹீ இஸ் அ ஒர்க்கிங் பர்சன். பட் ஹீ இஸ் ஆல்சோ ரிலாக்ஸிங், லைக் as if he don't have anything to do. Like he has no work tension, and he has no pressures, and like no workload or anything. And also the cloud is supporting for him to rest. So that is what I see.
இதே இது what if it is a startup company or an entrepreneur? Will he be like this?
Of course not. Startup company means you have so many works to do. Like you have to go for investments, you have to buy all the hardware components, and you have to install all the softwares, and you need an IT consultant for installing all those things, and you have to employ staffs. It's hectic. You really can't relax like this. It's impossible.
But I think it's possible through cloud computing. So there are many advantages for this cloud computing. Yeah, one of the advantages is it's flexible, so that we can use it anywhere, anytime. Yeah, we can use it anywhere, anytime over the internet. அடுத்தது பார்த்தோம்னா, it is more, they keep our data secured because the host company takes care of it. Next, it gets automatically updated through internet. ஸோ நம்ம அப்கிரேட் பண்றதுக்கு ஒரு அப்டேட் பண்றது எதுவும் நம்ம வருத்தப்பட தேவையில்லை. அடுத்தது வந்து நம்மளோட டேட்டா வந்து எங்க இருந்தாலும் ஆக்சஸ் பண்ணலாம். நெக்ஸ்ட் இஸ் even though our system is crashed or anything happens like that, நம்ம டேட்டா வந்து it will be safe in cloud. ஸோ நம்ம வந்து அவங்களுக்கு சாஃப்ட்வேர் அண்ட் ஹார்ட்வேருக்காக நம்ம மணி கொடுக்க தேவையில்லை. ஏன்னா நம்ம ஜஸ்ட் we are renting it from them. ஸோ இதனால it is more easier for them to use cloud.
Yes, yeah, I accept your statements. And coming with, so David Allen, he is an architect, he's a real time architect. He says that it is not in the beauty of a building you should look at, it is the construction of the foundation that will stand the test of time. ஸோ என்ன சொல்ல வராங்க அப்படின்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா, இட்ஸ் லைக் ஜஸ்ட் டேக் அ பில்டிங். ஓகே, ஒரு பில்டிங் எடுத்தோம்னா, ஓகே பில்டிங் ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் டேக் தாஜ்மஹால். ஓகே, தாஜ்மஹால் இருக்கு, நீங்க போறீங்க, பாக்குறீங்க, யூல் பி லைக் வாவ், இட்ஸ் டூ பியூட்டிஃபுல், லைக் லைக் இட்ஸ் அமேசிங், லைக் வாவ் அப்படின்னு இருப்போம். ஜஸ்ட் அப்படி சொல்லிட்டு பார்த்துட்டு விட்டுற மாட்டோம். we would like to know more about it. இல்ல அப்படிதானே? லைக் நீங்க அது எப்படியெல்லாம் வந்து கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, என்னென்னலாம் யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க அதை கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ட் பண்றதுக்கு, அதோட ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் என்ன, அதை எப்படி வந்து எந்த பிளேஸ்ல இந்த டைம்ல அதோட ஹிஸ்டரி என்ன, எப்படியெல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சுக்க நமக்கு ஆசைப்படுவோம். ஸோ we would always like to know the architecture of a building, if it is really amazing. ஸோ அப்படி பார்க்கும்போது cloud, as Kiran said, it's really advantageous. It is providing with many resources, and it has a virtual environment and stuff. இப்படி cloud இவ்வளோ பியூட்டிஃபுல்லா நமக்கு பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கு, இப்படி இருக்கு. அப்படி இருக்கும்போது ஜஸ்ட் பார்த்துட்டு அதை பத்தி படிச்சுட்டு விடாம we have to dig deeper. We have to know what is happening at the backstage. You see, at the backstage அது என்ன பண்றதுக்கு அதோட பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் இவ்வளோ நீட்டா பர்ஃபெக்டா இருக்கு அப்படின்னு நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். So that is really important for us. So let us jump into cloud architecture. Yeah. So let's add more to it.
Okay. If a cloud architecture பார்த்தோம்னா it has two ends. One is front end, the other is back end, which are connected through the internet. இப்போ back endல பார்த்தோம்னா we have application, service, cloud runtime, storage, infrastructure, management and security. And management and security பார்த்தீங்கன்னா you can see it in vertical, which is vertical place in the image shown.
Yes. So just notice that structure of cloud. I mean, back end or என்னென்ன components இருக்குன்னு பார்த்துக்கோங்க, because we are going to learn have a brief introduction about all those components. So first is the front end. What is front end? Front end is what you see. உங்களுக்கு என்ன தெரியுதோ அதுதான் front end. ஓகேங்களா? லைக் உங்களுக்கு நீங்க பார்த்த உடனே உங்களுக்கு என்ன தெரியுதோ, the experience of visual aspects as I've mentioned there, that is what is front end. For example, take a login page. நீங்க வந்து it'll ask for என்ன கேட்கும், ஒரு யூசர் நேம் அண்ட் பாஸ்வேர்ட் and there will be a login button. Fine, you fill all your credentials. Next, login button click பண்றீங்க. So it will lead you to that destination page. Like, how is it happening? Frontல நான் எனக்கு எதுவுமே நடக்கிறது தெரியல, but something is happening, it's processing and இன்னொரு பேஜுக்கு போயிடுச்சு. Okay, one more thing. If suppose the password வந்து wrong-ஆ கொடுத்துறீங்க, so what will happen? அது password incorrect அப்படின்னு வரும். So how does it know if it is correct or wrong? Like, I am giving something, அவங்களுக்கு எப்படி தெரியும்? So உங்களுக்கு நீங்க பார்க்கிறது மட்டும் இல்லாம something else is happening at the behind. So நீங்க பார்க்கிறதுக்கு சப்போர்ட் பண்றதுக்கும் அதை வந்து மேனேஜ் பண்றதுக்கும் பின்னாடி ஏதோ இருக்கு. So that is what is back end. And what you see in the front is like the interface. உங்களுக்கும் உங்களோட சிஸ்டம்க்கும் இருக்கிற கம்யூனிகேஷன், அந்த இன்டர்ஃபேஸ் தான் ஃப்ரண்ட் எண்ட். அதுக்கு பின்னாடி ஒர்க்கிங் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறது வந்து தான் பேக் எண்ட் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவேன். இன்னொரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, just consider a finger is being pointed at you like this. Okay, so ஒரு ஃபிங்கர் உங்களுக்கு பாயிண்ட் ஆயிட்டு இருக்குன்னா, நீங்க எப்பவுமே என்ன உங்களுக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் மைண்ட்ல என்ன பார்ப்பீங்கன்னா, the index finger, அது உங்களை பாயிண்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்குன்னு நீங்க பார்ப்பீங்க. பட் have you noticed the other 4 fingers being folded there? அந்த 4 fingers fold ஆயிருக்கிறதால தான் உங்களுக்கு அந்த அந்த இண்டெக்ஸ் ஃபிங்கர் வந்து உங்களுக்கு பாயிண்ட் ஆயிட்டு இருக்கிறது தெரியுது. ஸோ யூ ஷுட் நோ இட்ஸ் பேக் எண்ட் வந்து எவ்வளோ சப்போர்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கு இந்த ஃப்ரண்ட் வந்து உங்களுக்கு காட்டுறதுக்கு. ஸோ this is front end, and the behind, the 4 fingers being supported there, that is what is back end. I don't think there is any other good example for front end and back end other than this. So let's I think you're clear with front end. I'll jump into back end.
Yeah, back end application. So application is responsible for accepting request and acts as a user interface. அப்படின்னா நம்ம என்ன பார்த்தோம்னா, இப்போ வந்து it receives request from the front end and it processes, it responds to that same request.
So yes, நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி front end வந்து வேலை செய்யுது. Okay, front end is responsible for sending the request to the back end and displaying what back end sends back. ஸோ அதுதான் ஃப்ரண்ட் எண்டோட வேலை. அண்ட் அப்ளிகேஷன் வந்து அதை ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரிசீவ் பண்ணுறதும் அங்கேருந்து தான் அதை சென்ட் பண்ணுறதும் அப்ளிகேஷனோட ஒர்க் அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் கம்ஸ் சர்வீஸ் வந்து as I told you before, நெட்ஃப்ளிக்ஸ் அப்போ சொல்லும்போது சொன்னேன். ஸோ it is cloud provides us with services. There are many types of services, not only these 3, but these 3 are the most like important and the basic ones. So software as a service, na sonna, you need not install an application or a software. You just need to you'll have an access to them, and you have to pay for what you use. So that is what is software as a service. Next is platform as a service. Platform as a service பார்த்தீங்கன்னா you will have an access to the platform. Okay, for platform எதுக்கு அப்படின்னா a platform is used to create an application or software. So it is for building that particular software. It is more useful for the developers. You see, developers can build all these applications and software without really need to have the platform with all on their own. They just can have an access to them, which is already available in the cloud. So infrastructure as a service அப்படின்னா infrastructure the whole things like it includes both software and hardware and the components. ஒரு பிளாட்ஃபார்மும் இருக்கலாம் பிளஸ் ஸ்டோரேஜ் நெட்வொர்க் செக்யூரிட்டி. ஸோ அதுவுமே இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும் இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர் அஸ் சர்வீஸ். யூ வில் ஹாவ் அன் அடிஷ்னல் ஆக்சஸ் டு few future features in infrastructure as a service. So that is for services.
Yeah. Now comes cloud runtime. Cloud runtime is a place where services run and they provide a virtual and runtime environment. If for example, it's like a compiler which gets the program and executes it. அதே மாதிரி cloud runtime runs the program and executes it. Next is storage. இப்போ storage பார்த்தோம்னா it stores all our data and அங்கே தான் ஸ்டோர் ஆயிருக்கும். ஸோ நம்ம நினைக்கலாம் it will be like 500 GB அப்படி இருக்கும்னு. ஆனால் it's not like that. It is stored in terabytes மேலே அடுத்து பெட்டாபைட் மேலே எக்ஸாபைட். ஸோ இப்போ கூகுள் ஸ்டோரேஜ் எல்லாம் எக்ஸாபைட்ஸ்ல தான் ஸ்டோர் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கு. அப்புறம் நெக்ஸ்ட் கம்ஸ் இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர்ல தான் நம்மளோட ஆல் the cloud-ஓட hardware and software components are there. So examples like GPU, CPU அது மாதிரி.
And so yes, next வந்து இருக்கு management and security. So what do you think is management and security அப்படின்னா first of all I would like to mention நான் அந்த structure பார்க்க சொன்னேன் backendல. If you see all of the components like application, cloud runtime, storage, infrastructure, all these were like ஹாரிசான்டலா இருந்தது. பட் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் செக்யூரிட்டி இட் வாஸ் லைக் வெர்டிக்கல் பார்ஸா இருந்தாங்க. ஸோ அது ஏன் வந்து வெர்டிக்கல் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்லணும்னா மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் அண்ட் செக்யூரிட்டி வந்து இட் அப்ளைஸ் டு ஆல் த ஹொரிசான்டல் காம்பனன்ட்ஸ். இப்போ செக்யூரிட்டின்றது ஹோலா இல்லாம ஒவ்வொரு காம்பனண்ட்டுக்கும் வந்து ப்ரொவைட் பண்றாங்க. ஸோ தட் இஸ் அதனாலதான் அது வந்து ஒரு வெர்டிக்கலா இருக்கு. ஸோ மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்னா என்னன்னா இந்த காம்பனன்ட்ஸ் இருக்குல்ல, இப்போ பேக் எண்ட்ல இருக்கிற எல்லா காம்பனன்ட்ஸும் இட்ஸ் இண்டிபெண்ட். ஒன்னுத்துக்கும் கனெக்ஷன் இல்லை. ஒன்று கிராஷ் ஆனாலும் ஒரு காம்பனன்ட் ஒர்க் ஆகலைனாலும் அதர் காம்பனன்ட்டுக்கு வந்து அது டிஸ்டர்ப் ஆகாது, அஃபெக்டே ஆகாது. So but they should have a communication, they should have a coordination between them. So management will take care of that. And I said cloud வந்து services provide பண்றாங்க அப்படின்னு சொன்னேன். இப்போ பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் as a சர்வீஸ்க்கும் இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர் as a சர்வீஸ்க்கும் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ரிசோர்ஸஸ் தான் நம்ம ப்ரொவைட் பண்றோம். இப்போ பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் as a சர்வீஸ்க்கு கொஞ்சம் லிமிட்டட், ஆனால் இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சருக்கு கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸஸா இருக்கும், ஃபியூ ஃபீச்சர்ஸ் எக்ஸ்ட்ராவா இருக்கும். அப்படின்னு பார்க்கும்போது எல்லாத்துக்கும் ஒரே ரிசோர்ஸ் கொடுக்க முடியாது. ஒரு ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் டாஸ்க்கு எவ்வளோ ரிசோர்ஸ் தரணும், எவ்வளோ ரிசோர்ஸ் தந்தா போதும் அப்படின்னு அதை ஹேண்டில் பண்றதுக்கும் இருக்கிற டேட்டாலாம் ஹேண்டில் பண்றதுக்கும் அதை அலோகேட் பண்றதுக்கும் ரெஸ்பான்சிபிள் தான் வந்து மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் அப்படின்ற ஒரு காம்பனன்ட். நெக்ஸ்ட் வந்து செக்யூரிட்டி. எஸ், செக்யூரிட்டி வந்து we all know security is like it secures all the components there, but here it uses virtual firewalls. I'm telling you, like virtual firewalls to implement security to all the components. And also one more thing is backup. ஸோ பேக்கப் என்னன்னா நீங்க எல்லாமே வந்து உங்களுக்கு ஒரு எக்ஸ்ட்ரா பேக்கப் இருக்கும். ஸோ ஒருவேளை உங்களோட சிஸ்டம் கிராஷ் ஆனாலும் அது கிளவுட்ல ஸ்டோர் ஆயிருக்கும். கிளவுட்ல வந்து இன்னொரு பேக்கப்பும் இருக்கும். ஸோ டேட்டா ரிகவரி இஸ் ரியலி ஈஸி அண்ட் ஃபாஸ்ட். ஸோ ஆல்சோ இட் ப்ரிவென்ட்ஸ் டேட்டா லாஸ் ஃபார் யூசர்ஸ். ஸோ இதுதான் செக்யூரிட்டியோடது. So I think I have completed the backend. So all these components have their work to do. They are அது எல்லாமே சப்போர்ட் பண்றதால தான் நமக்கு ஃப்ரண்ட் எண்ட் வந்து கிளவுட் வந்து இவ்வளோ லைக் வர்ச்சுவலா இருந்தாலும் ஆஸ் இஃப் இட் வேர் ரியல் வந்து நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ண முடியுது. ஸோ இட்ஸ் ஆல் பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் த பேக் எண்ட். ஸோ okay, back end முடிச்சிட்டோம், fine. Now front end you have an idea. Back end is also okay, but front endum back endum எப்படி communicate பண்ணுது? There is this question, right? How front end and back end is communicates? What is the medium of transporting all these requests? அப்படின்னு கேட்கும்போது comes the internet. So internet வந்து it is being the medium for front end and back end to communicate. uh, as I have you should ask me like why have you left the page blank அப்படின்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா, yes, I have left the page blank because I have to emphasize you that we cannot see internetன்றது நம்மளால பார்க்கவே முடியாது. பட் ஈவன் தென் அது நம்ம இந்த ஸ்லைட் மாதிரி உங்களால எதுவுமே பார்க்க முடியல, பட் ஈவன் தென் அந்த ஸ்லைட் அங்க இருக்கு, இட் இஸ் தேர், சம்திங் இஸ் தேர் அப்படின்னு உங்களுக்கு தெரியும். ஸோ அதே மாதிரி தான் இன்டர்நெட்டும். ஸோ சம்திங் தேர் இஸ் ஒர்க்கிங் லைக் வெரி எஃபிஷியன்ட்லி அண்ட் வெரி எஃபெக்டிவ்லி. ஸோ இன்டர்நெட் இல்லாமல் தெர் இஸ் நத்திங் பாசிபிள் நவ் டேஸ். ஸோ அப்படி இருக்கும்போது internet வந்து it is playing a major role in this cloud computing. And internet பத்தி பேசும்போது there is one more topic to cover, that is network. ஸோ நெட்ஒர்க் வரும்போது யூ வில் ஹாவ் திஸ் ஆப்ஷன்ஸ். எப்படின்னா நாங்கள் சர்வீஸ் ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணுறோம், கிளவுட் பேக்எண்ட் சொல்லுது லைக் ஐ எம் ப்ரொவைடிங் ஆல் தி சர்வீசஸ், சாஃப்ட்வேர் அஸ் அ சர்வீஸ், பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் அஸ் a service, and infrastructure as a service. I'm providing you to the front end, to the client, but you have this option like உங்களுக்கு எந்த மோட் ஆஃப் நெட்ஒர்க்ல வந்து உங்களுக்கு ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணணும். யூ வாண்ட் இட் டு பி லைக் what is that, you want it to have it in a private network or you want it to be in a public network, எந்த path உங்களுக்கு நீங்க சூஸ் பண்றீங்க, or you want a combination of both, that is also there. So அப்போ arise ஆன ஒண்ணுதான் is called the deployment models of cloud. So Kiran will explain you that.
So there are three deployment models of cloud. One is private cloud, the second one is public cloud, third one is hybrid cloud. So private cloud பார்த்தோம்னா, private cloud is like in the business people or the companies, they use it so that their data is kept secured. And ஏன்னா அவங்க டேட்டாவும் அவங்களோட security will be more because their data should be kept secure. அதனால they pay more for that. அண்ட் இதே இது நம்ம பப்ளிக் கிளவுட் பார்த்தோம்னா, பப்ளிக் கிளவுட் வந்து இட்ஸ் ஃபார் அஸ், நம்ம மாதிரி மக்களுக்கு, பீப்புளுக்கு. ஸோ தட் நம்ம வந்து நம்மளோட டேட்டா லைக் ஃபோட்டோஸ், வீடியோஸ் வி அப்லோட் இன் கிளவுட் அண்ட் சேவ் தெம். ஸோ அண்ட் இட் இஸ் ஆல்சோ எஃபெக்டிவ், காஸ்ட் எஃபெக்டிவ், சீப்பராக இருக்கும். அதே இப்போ ஹைபிரிட் கிளவுட் பார்த்தோம்னா, ஹைபிரிட் கிளவுட் ரெண்டுமே கலந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும். ஸோ இட் வில் வாட் இட் டஸ் இஸ் பிரைவேட் கிளவுடோட செக்யூரிட்டி வச்சுக்கும் பிளஸ் பப்ளிக் கிளவுடோட மணி. ஸோ இட் வில் பி லைக் இட் இஸ் இன் பிட்வீன். இட்ஸ் நாட் டூ எக்ஸ்பென்சிவ் ஆர் நெய்தர் லீஸ்ட் எக்ஸ்பென்சிவ். ஸோ ரெண்டுமே இருக்கும். அண்ட் இட் தேவையான டேட்டா வந்து ரொம்ப செக்யூர்டா வச்சு.
அண்ட் எஸ், உங்களுக்கு எல்லாருக்கும் இந்த 3 clouds பத்தி தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும். இப்போவாவது நீங்க தெரிஞ்சிருப்பீங்க. பட் யூ ஆல்சோ ஷுட் நோ there is also one more cloud I didn't mention here, that is called community cloud. Community cloud என்னன்னீங்கன்னா, it is like நீங்க வந்து ஒரு ஆர்கனைசேஷன் இருக்குன்னா you will have many branches for it. ஒரு பிரான்ச் இல்லாம you'll have many. அப்படி இருக்கும்போது எவ்ரிதிங் உங்களுக்கு பிரைவேட்டா வேணும்னா it will become more expensive and also அது எஃபெக்டிவா இருக்காது. ஸோ they have taken இந்த கான்செப்ட் அப்போதான் அரைஸ் ஆச்சு, லைக் யூ கேன் ஹாவ் அ ஷேர்ட் ப்ரைவசி. எல்லா இந்த ஆர்கனைசேஷன்ல இருக்க எல்லா பிரான்ச்சஸ்க்கும் யூ வில் ஹாவ் அ ப்ரைவசி விச் இஸ் பீங் ஷேர்ட் ஃபார் எவ்ரிதிங். ஸோ அவங்களுக்குள்ள பப்ளிக் தான், ஆனா ஆக்சுவலி வெளியே இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு இட் இஸ் அ பிரைவேட். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும். ஸோ தட் இஸ் வாட் இஸ் கம்யூனிட்டி கிளவுட். அண்ட் எஸ், ஐ ஹாவ் டு டெல் யூ சம்திங் லைக் கிளவுட் அப்படின்றது வந்து இட் இஸ் ஸ்டில் ஃப்ளோட்டிங் இன் ஆர் இமேஜினேஷன். நம்ம இன்னும் அது எப்படி இன்னும் நம்ம இந்த மாதிரி பிக்சர்ஸ்ல இந்த மாதிரி செஷன்ஸ்ல பாக்குறதோட விட்டுடுறோம். ஸோ ஆக்சுவலி இட் ஹாஸ் ரியலி வெரி கிரேட் இம்பேக்ட் ஆன் அவர் ரியல் லைஃப்ஸ். ஸோ ஐ வுட் லைக் டு டெல் ஆல் த entrepreneurs or startups like நீங்க ஏதாவது எடுக்கணும்னா ப்ளீஸ் take this chance of cloud, just move to cloud and win all the challenges. Good luck for that also. And next one, I don't want to conclude it soon. So before I conclude this this session, I would like to play a small game. It is more like a quiz, more like a quiz. இருக்கும். You'll be knowing few interesting facts about cloud before you leave the session. So let me start with that. So I have this question for you guys. Please do use the chat box and comment there. We'll be noticing that. So YouTube does my playlist. Is it stalking me? Like stalking meனா நீங்க அதுக்கு என்ன என்ன ஃபாலோ பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கா லைக் 24 hours என்ன வந்து கவனிச்சுட்டே இருக்கா நான் என்னென்னலாம் பண்றேன் என்னென்னலாம் பாக்குறேன் அப்படின்னு அது பார்த்துட்டே இருக்கா அது கரெக்டா எனக்கு என்ன ஆஹ் எப்படி சொல்றது எந்த மாதிரி ஆசைப்படுறேனோ அதே மாதிரி பிளேலிஸ்ட் வந்து எனக்கு ரெடி பண்ணி கொடுக்குது ஸோ ஹவு இஸ் இட் டூயிங் தட் அப்படின்னு உங்களுக்கு ஒரு கொஸ்டின் வரும்ல ஸோ ஜஸ்ட் டெல் மீ. Yes.
Yeah.
So, any comments?
Oh, okay. No comments till now.
Yeah, no comments, guys. It will be interesting if you
In
comment us.
Okay, Manish Gowda says that no, it is not stalking. We people provide
Yeah.
data, and the thing we have this data as a base to provide you with some recommendation. Yeah, it's right. Actually, we are accepting na, to take it's asking for our data.
Yeah, Manish, you are almost there. Yeah, but our topic is cloud, so you should tell somewhat related to cloud.
To cloud.
Actually, he's almost there. So let's not
We'll go to the
wait.
answer.
So yeah, answer is yeah. It uses cloud to save the recently played tracks and our what we what is that? What we search is the input data for them. So they use those data for an algorithm and they create that algorithm to have a playlist for us. That is amazing, right? So that is what it is.
Yeah.
Next,
Hmm.
next is
Interesting. You guys have to
so
merge these two pictures.
just tell me like what if you merge those pictures what is it you get some term it is a term. I don't know if everyone knows what is this term. Just so just tell me what is that first picture. So Kiran, can you answer what is the first picture?
First one, I think it's the picture of Google Cloud.
Yeah.
And the second one, I think it's about a quarry, I think. And I see a truck with full of load, which is taking stones and coming back to the industry
So tell me the
slowly.
specific term for that. Where will you have all these queries?
Hmm, I guess where minerals are there, so we
Yeah.
extract more minerals. So
So
cloud minerals or
so any
cloud quarry.
comments? Did any have you found the answer, guys? Anyone? No. I think so. No. So let me go to the answer. It is cloud
Oh,
mining.
yes.
What is cloud mining? Is more. It is cloud with blockchain technologies. That is bitcoins. So that is what is cloud mining. That is the topic for another session. So let's move to the next question. The last question. Please
Oh,
see this. It's like what is that? What do you see in the first picture?
Yeah. Any guesses? What
Yeah,
do you think? Because first picture, I guess most of the people will know that picture.
yeah. Everyone would have known.
Yeah.
What is the first picture? Just tell me. No. Any comments?
Yeah. Yeah. Manish says that Netflix uses AWS.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he's
yes,
right.
he's yes, he's correct. So, Money Heist, as you all know, it's a Spanish series, La Casa de Papel. So, it is the popular series in Netflix, and it is using Amazon Web Services Cloud for its cloud storage. So, that's it for today, guys. So, thank you for all your attention. So, see you.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harshita and Kiran, for that interactive session and the quiz that you held. It was really interesting way of taking over the session. Thank you so much for taking your time and explaining us on this. Let us now, it is almost end of the event, so let us now welcome Simuchand, our DSC SREC lead, to give the vote of thanks and to update us on the forthcoming events.
Hey people, how are you all? Thank you so much. Thank you, Harshita and Kiran, for that wonderful session. It was really great. And yes, thank you people for joining in. We had a good number of audience today. And yeah, about the upcoming events, tomorrow we have yet another great session for people who are the geek people who want to know what is happening behind internet, what is happening behind what is happening, what my data is being used for, all the cyber stuffs. If you people really want to know about that, please to join us tomorrow by 6 p.m. evening. We have two amazing speakers who's gonna take the session on cyber security, and they're gonna tweet, they're gonna tell like is really public wi-fi really safe, or how that can be something like how that can be a malware from your, and how can they steal the data. So all those things are up tomorrow, so stay tuned with us for tomorrow's event. It would really be a great info session for you. And after that, we have at the end, we have two more sessions coming up this week, so we expect your uh, attention and your presence in the show. It would be really great for us. So yeah, thank you so much for staying in this today's event. A special thanks to Dharmesh Vaya sir also. He immediately when we asked him, he told yes, I can do this for the community. Special mention for him also. Thank you, sir. And Ovia, thank you once again for taking in the host, being the host for the show. It's been a good session throughout this month. So thank you so much, people. Stay safe, stay happy. God bless you all. See you tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Simmu. So we've come to the end of the session. The beautiful thing about learning is no one can take it away from you. And I feel DSC SIC team throughout October have been enlightening you with a number of sessions and number of domains that you can take use of and make use of it in the future. And you can, this is the time we choose our career, so we are giving you a keen idea of the various domains of CSC and where you can take ideas from it. So like Simu said, tomorrow we have cybersecurity, something that we need to know about, because right now we thrive for Wi-Fi wherever we go. So this is something that I think the youngsters or people with smartphones would make use of it. So thank you all for listening and joining us today. So don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles to get updated on forthcoming events, or if you want any details or data information about the events that we have held so far. So it is all updated on our social media handles. Do check it out. And thank you so much again. Stay home and stay safe. Good night.